So let me ask a question, because this popped up in my head as you were talking. What would you say the difference is between entitlement and deserving of something?
Well, I tell everybody that I said, I believe everybody deserves everything. I said, I believe we all deserve everything. I'm not going to tell you, you can't have that. Well, that's not my place, you know? And to me, I mean, you work hard, you get this, you get that. Good on you. I mean,
I just think it has to do with like expectations too.
True.
So what is your expectation? So, okay, for instance, like I get a job and I deserve to have an increase in pay. So I know I've earned it, or I know I'm going to earn it. So what is the expectation? Within 3 months. Within 3 months at my 90-day review, I want $5 more an hour. Okay, that's your expectation, but is it reality? And do you feel like if you don't get that, you're entitled to it?
There you go.
There it is.
Thank you. I'll give you a high five.
Look at her, because she's asking me, and I'm like,
oh, great.
Yeah,
like that's it. That's because when Robin was talking about that, that's immediately what I thought. Like, how do we tell the difference between being entitled or being deserving of something? And that was like,
thank you.
Great.
I was like,
I read your mind. I guess.
Wow, I have no words for
perfect.
that, because that is so true though. Mm-hmm. I believe too that when we say we deserve something, well, for me, if I know that I deserve something, I'm already looking at the work that I've done to get here. Like, have you put in the work, right? What kind of work have you put in? Versus, oh, I'm entitled to have that and not put in the work. Mm-hmm. So that was so like key what you said. And just to add to that, it's like, okay, when you're deserving of something, you put in the work, right? Yeah. You've put in what you needed to put in to that point, at that point, for you to even ask for something, or, you know, but when it's entitlement, if it's entitlement, it's like, okay, where's the work? Maybe your parents put in the work to set you up for where you are, but what are you going to do at this point to make sure that whatever has been done for you, you continue to do for yourself?
Right. And that's what it is. It's the expectations. And I think people put expectations, their own, on everybody else. So I expect 90-day review, I'm getting $5 more because I feel like that's a sufficient amount of time. But like from the other side of it, is that the reality? Is that like, are you considering what they're doing on their side or what they're expecting of you? You may be saying, I'm exceeding the expectations, but are they seeing it the same way you are? So it's about balancing that, you know, being self-aware. And that goes to relationships too. You know, same thing. Like, okay, well, I deserve to have flowers once a week because I'm a great wife.
That's expensive, and I don't like flowers.
Yeah, right? Well, I mean, I deserve it, right? I deserve for my husband to bring me home flowers every week and chocolates and whatever, because I'm a great wife. Okay, that's your expectation. I hope you verbalize that, first of all. Second of all is, okay, what about their needs? Are you meeting those needs? Do you feel like they're on the same page as you? Like, it's gotta be, you gotta like think about yourself and go deeper.
I agree. And that is so important too, because even in therapy, I always ask my clients, you know, especially when, of course, new clients, what are your expectations for therapy? And how do you know, or how will you know that I've met those expectations for you? Because everybody's expectations are different, right? And so, hey, if you're expecting this, then we're going to make sure we hit the mark, right? If you're expecting here, we're going to make sure we hit the mark, or we're going to talk about the in-between. Because I also say, I have to make sure that my clients are the right fit for me, just as well as I want you to make sure I'm the right therapist.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's all about expectations.
I'm just sitting here going,
yeah. So that's it.
Expectations. That mic drop that Lady Boss put down. I was like,
she did.
I'm gonna have to like take that little piece of the podcast and I'm gonna write, because hey, I love all that stuff because I use it in my classes, because anytime I can verbalize it in a way, in a teachable moment, that was perfect. Yeah. Like, because that is something that nobody can misunderstand, you know, the expectations, the deserve. And it's funny because even when you said that, like, I went sideways because, I mean, you know, one of the things, you know, working with so much of my, you know, ADHD population and everything else, it's like, I saw a little clip and it said, and I sent it to some of my people because it said, you know, we always feel like we're in trouble. We're always feeling like because we're always working and trying to capacity. And so when you said deserve, I'm thinking, I never thought I deserved any of that. Like, so it's like, even as a personal thing, I was like, deserve? Like, what do we deserve?
Well, I mean, and the thing is like, we do deserve things, right? Like if we're a good human being, we deserve to be treated right. We deserve to have respect, right? Because we're giving that out. We're giving that same out. We're respecting others. We deserve that respect back. But when it comes to entitlement,
right,
I feel like in, relationships or workplace, okay, what, like you said, what are you putting in to whatever you're having expectations about? So are you putting in something very positive in your relationship? Let's say your spouse. Are you putting in all that stuff into the bank account? Are you, and I am at the emotional bank account, not financial, but like, are you putting? You're right.
It could be. If you don't put any money in the bank, you ain't getting nothing out.
Right. But I was thinking emotional bank account. Like, are you putting in what your spouse's love languages are? Like, what their needs are? Are you putting in? Yes. Then you deserve that same thing back. Absolutely. But are you entitled because you have a ring on your finger? Because no, you have to put in the work. And same thing with the workplace. Like, you want a certain salary or you want certain privileges being in your, in your position. Okay, well, make sure you have a reasonable expectation and that you're putting in the work and what's expected of that type of salary. So
that reminds me of like when I've had like students in my therapy room and they'll say, oh, well, my teacher gave me a 79 on my test, but I deserved an 80.
Okay. The 80 work.
There's a difference between, teacher in the room. There's a difference between the 79 and an 80. Of course, we know that. And I asked him, I go, okay, your teacher gave you a 79, but she should have given you an 80. What did you do to deserve the 80? Oh, well, it's just, no, what did you do to deserve it? You got what you deserved.
Yep.
And so I think that the difference between that is, okay, I deserved the 79 and that's what I got. But I'm entitled to have the 80 because that's what I want.
And that's where you have to check yourself and you have to check these people that say things like that, and even with our clients, like, one thing with me is like the first session with them, I'm like, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything for you. Like, that's not the type of therapist I am. I may not be all the warm and fuzzies type of therapist that you're looking for if that's what you want.
How are you feeling?
Yeah. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to call you out if I hear you say something like that entitlement mentality or people owe me this and owe me that. It's like, what are you putting into this relationship or whatever it is? So
Right. Absolutely.
Well, and again, you can't be selfish and happy at the same time. Like, you literally can't. You cannot be selfish and happy at the same time. And to me, again, when we talk about selfish, but we still go down to, I'm not going to go that that's hateful. I think it's hurtful. I'm being selfish because I don't believe anybody's ever going to meet my needs, even though I want it so badly, but because it never happened. And now I don't know how to ask for it. You know what I mean? So that's my thing too, is that a lot of it is, communication and how you're communicating. And the thing is that they may not even have the words, because so many times it's like, well, how did I not see that? I go, you weren't there yet. You didn't turn the corner. You were sitting over there. You can't see over there because you're over here.
You didn't have a revelation.
You did. It was not revealed to you yet, But they're like, but now I feel so stupid. Why? This is wonderful. Like, this is amazing. But it's like, because some things you guys are so simple, because that's the thing. Nurturing a beautiful baby, in the animal kingdom, whatever, even in plants, like, that's a given, you would think. Even way back when I was teaching, health before all this, I said, listen, just because you can procreate does not make you a good.
Oh, God.
It doesn't. It doesn't.